What's up guys, my name's Tom, welcome back to another video to here for the third episode of the F1 2021 Breaking Point Story Mode. Today we start our journey as Casper Akkerman in the 2021 season. It's goodbye to Racing Point and hello to Aston Martin. The season didn't end well, ended well for Racing Point with a crash between the two teammates, but new season, new start and a new driver, because now we're going to be in the shoes of Aiden Jackson's teammate, the veteran Casper Akkerman, and we have some emails and you can see that Lucas Weber is in this game, so this is really interesting to see, and this means that he only had one season in his F1 career and it was back in 2019. I don't know what happened to this man, but at least in my career mode save in 2019 he was an absolute beast. But anyway, enough talking, it's time to start the first scenario of 2021. Hopefully things are going to start smoothly in Aston Martin's return to the sport. So we're going to the 7th chapter of this Breaking Point Story Mode at the Australian Grand Prix, and it's going to happen during qualifying, during the top 10 shootout, so hopefully we can get a good result in that session.
Here we are then, another season of Formula One racing is upon us. Some teams confident following pre-season, whilst others still looking for answers. Let's see what the future holds for them as qualifying gets underway here in Melbourne. So, Aiden Jackson in 9th, but Aston Martin still hopeful the youngster can secure a decent position. Let's see how he gets on here. Teammate Casper Akkerman didn't make it through to Q3, narrowly missing out by just
13 milliseconds. You did all you could. If I went out second today, I would have those 13 milliseconds back, no problem. Why do they keep sending me out first?
11th isn't the end of the world, Casper. You'll make those places back.
Yeah, for sure. But I shouldn't have to.
So it seems that we have some preferential treatment at Aston Martin, and what happened is that Aiden Jackson went to the top 10 shootout because our teammate was sent to the track after us. So things are not starting that smoothly for Aston Martin, but now we have a call from our wife, Zoe.
Zoe, hey.
Morning, Daddy.
Lily, you know it's not morning where Daddy is, right?
Mummy says you're on the other side of the world.
That's right. Daddy is in Australia. I'm upside down.
Then why don't the cars fall off?
Mommy can explain that. Can I speak to her?
Don't fall off, Daddy.
I won't, Lily. Promise.
Hey, qualifying not so good, huh?
They sent me out first.
Again?
Yeah.
Well, some of your best races were coming from midfield.
Yeah?
Yeah. Besides, I thought you loved a challenge. Lils, off the table. Now. It's breakfast time. I should go.
Sure.
You'll be great. You always are. Love ya.
Love you too.
And with that we get to know for the first time our daughter Lily. Then we spoke with our wife and she said that most of our races came from the midfield. So this makes me assume maybe Casper was like a midfield driver, a veteran midfield driver. He never had like a big chance in the bigger teams of fighting for the championship. He was always there in the midfield. Kind of remind me, for example, Rubens Barrichello or maybe Nico Hulkenberg, but with some more years of experience. But anyway, we're going to head into the mid-race scenario at the Australian Grand Prix, with tensions from last year looking set to continue into this season. Casper Akkerman pushes onwards during the inaugural race of the 2021 championship.
Something's not right.
Understood, Casper. We're on it.
It's the gearbox. I've lost the gear.
Push on, Casper. We're assessing. Just push on best you can.
I'll try.
And here we are on the first scenario of the 2021 season, and the objective is finish the race while managing the gearbox issue. And to be honest, missing 6th gear and a track like Australia is not much of a big deal. It could have been much worse, because this is a track that has a lot of medium speed corners, so it would be much worse if we lost like 3rd or 4th gear. But anyway, despite the issues, we are making good inroads and getting close to the back of the AlphaTauri of Pierre Gasly, getting closer, but it seems that we're not going to do anything, and this is going to be a test to see how much deficit we're going to have in the straight line. We'll switch from 6th to 7th gear. So I was saying that we missed 6th gear, and no, we missed 7th gear, so apologies for that. But round the outside we go of Pierre Gasly. It seems that the issue is not stopping us from getting a decent straight line speed. And remember that the underpower is very good in the 2021 season, so that is a very good reference as we get into the back of Fernando Alonso getting back to the sport. This is a world of Formula 1 if there was no pandemic, so this makes the Australian Grand Prix be the first race of the season and not the Bahrain Grand Prix, as now we open the DRS. Which way we're going to go? On the inside, on the outside? It seems that we're going around the outside of the Alpine, auto braking massively, getting a little bit of oversteer, of understeer I should say, and that made Alonso to take a look on the inside and maybe regain that position, but not a chance. And now we're getting closer to our teammate Aiden Jackson, so it seems that we are outperforming our teammate massively, because despite this issue, I know that we are on the softest comparative tire and we're doing pretty good. So Casper Akkerman, despite being old, is still managing to do some awesome performances. So our wife was right, so it seems that on one of our best races come from the midfield. I tried to go around that side, but we're not going to do that because he's our teammate and we don't want any more stresses. 2020 was enough, but here we go now with the DRS open, round the outside we go, and it's going to be even more easy than the move that we did on Alonso, and we are up into 8th place, and ahead of us it's the home hero Daniel Ricciardo in his first race for McLaren, so a pretty solid result from the Aussie. But Max Verstappen wins the inaugural race of 2021 at Melbourne, so I told you, Mercedes, enjoy it while we can, because 2021 is not going to be that easy, but we cross the line in P8 after a gearbox problem. I'll take that.
That's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
It was a magnificent race and a drive right out of the top draw to take the win for Red Bull today. Well, what's happened there to Casper Akkerman? Still managed to finish, but that's got to be frustrating, and
yeah, looks like maybe it was a gearbox fault, which is always a blow for the driver. Akkerman won't be happy, but I'd say he's done very well in the circumstances.
well, this isn't the start he would have wanted after last season. Let's hope things pick up for him. Red Bull are our winners today after showcasing some incredible driving. There's been a huge push from them lately to stay competitive with the other teams, and they're certainly proving themselves.
Bad luck out there today. Let's talk about it. So, not a great race out there for you today, Casper. Can you talk us through what happened?
So the problem was pretty obvious. It was clearly an issue with the gearbox, and I'm sure the team are already working on it. So a pretty, standard, neutral answer, which is what I want, especially at the start of the season.
Well, it was clearly an issue with the gearbox. Not a great place to be as a driver, but we'll work on it, I'm sure.
Well, despite obvious vehicle difficulty, you still managed to finish. How hard is it to bring it over the line when facing such issues?
Overtaking and scoring points with the gearbox issue is definitely a great performance, and basically what I need to do was concentrate on power and hope for the best, because you never know when the gearbox can fail and put your race to an early end.
Well, this is where experience comes in. You just have to switch off. Be mindful, but try and ignore what is going on around you. To concentrate only on the problem at hand and hope for the best.
While it's an unfortunate start to this season, last season was muddied by a tense relationship with your teammate. How are things now with you and Aiden?
The right-hand side option is so spicy, and then the below one is not. It's a Kimi Räikkönen style one, and yeah, it's a new year, new life, new team. So let's put all of that behind.
That was last season. It's no secret that Aiden and I had a few run-ins. But that's the risk when you put two drivers together for the first time. I don't like to look back, only forward. I'm sure he's learned a lot, and we'll see what happens this season.
Great. Well, that's everything.
So we're back to our motorhome with interviews done and dusted, and you can see that the press is talking about us after our gearbox problem, and they're talking about if the gearbox problem was that much of a big deal, and it didn't affect that much the performance, because like I said, losing 7th gear at a circuit like Albert Park is not going to affect your pace that much. It would be much worse, like I was saying during the race, if we had the 3rd or 4th gear missing, because this circuit is basically all about medium speed corners. But anyway, we move on. The next scenario is going to be at the Bahrain Grand Prix, and we have some emails saying that they're going to investigate the gearbox, and then Lucas Weber sending an email talking about Devon Butler and saying that you know. Let's say that Lucas Weber is a guy that has a lot of experience with Devon Butler, let's say like that. And anyway, we move on into the next chapter, Chapter 8, at the Bahrain Grand Prix, a mid-race one, looking to bounce back after the frustrations of the Australian Grand Prix. Casper Akkerman and Aston Martin are eager to find stability in Sakir, but as the race goes on, it becomes clear that his tyre wear is reaching critical levels.
I'm losing grip.
Understood. Can you box next lap, Casper? Box next lap.
No, I need to come in now. It's quite bad.
We've got Aiden coming in now. Just hold out one more lap, please, Casper.
Isn't he a lap down?
Yes, he's on a different strategy, though.
Haven't I got priority?
He's boxing now. Please hold off, Casper.
Fine. No, I'm all over the place here. I'm coming in now. Must have been pretty urgent for Aiden, eh?
Please be patient, Casper.
Goes another place. And another. Okay, let's go, let's go.
Aston Martin clearly needs to learn how to do double stacks. That was so long. They need to see the double stacks from Red Bull or Mercedes. But anyway...
Okay, that wasn't ideal. Let's see if you can get a few places back, please, Casper.
I'm on it.
Copy that, Jeffrey. We'll see what we can do. We are on a much faster tyre at the moment. We find ourselves in P11, knocking the door on the points, and our objective is regain the lost positions and finish in 8th place or above. Ahead of us we have Fernando Alonso, and it seems that he is on a 2-stop. But before that, we need to manage some black markers, starting with the Haas of Nikita Mazepin, and that is not the best place that a blue flag car should place his car, basically in the middle of the apex. But anyway, move on. I shouldn't be surprised because it's Nikita Mazepin. But anyway, we move on, and we're getting to the back of the Alpine of Fernando Alonso. Good acceleration through that right-hander, but I'm not going to do anything through the S. This is my first time driving at Bahrain, and the Cubs were already aggressive in 2020. Imagine how they are in this game. Run outside we go of Alonso as he hits the inside curb, and that sent his Alpine into my Aston Martin, but thankfully we managed to react that, and our Aston Martin is still intact. Remember that in this game we have floor damage, which can be really costly. Next victim of the blue flags is Nicholas Latifi. That parked us on the apex. What was that, Nicholas? That was so close, and once again I had to have reactions of a cat to defend that. I had to basically 100% slam on the brakes. That was really close. I don't know what was that. First Mazepin and then Latifi. Anyway, we move on. Let's forget that. And we are ahead of us, Daniel Ricciardo, which has been squabbling with Aiden Jackson. That is a lap down, so it seems that he's not letting Ricciardo go through. So great teamwork, we can say. Not the cleanest one by any means, but it allowed me to catch Ricciardo pretty fast, and up the inside we go this time. And we are in P9, so we are one position away as Aiden lets us go through, so thanks for that. Great teamwork, not the cleanest like I said. And now ahead of us we are one position away of accomplishing our results. Is the Aston Martin? Why did I say Aston Martin? Are you kidding? Up the inside we go of the AlphaTauri of Yuki Tsunoda in his first race in Formula 1, scoring points in his first race. And now we are accomplishing the result, but I really want more, and that's what we're going to do. Ahead of us we have Esteban Ocon and Sergio Perez struggling in his first race for Red Bull as we open the DRS, engage the overtake mode, and we're gaining and gaining on the Frenchman. Are we going to send one down inside? Yes, we're going to do that. Very close margins, but we managed to stop the car in time, and we are up into 7th place in this Bahrain Grand Prix. So we're doing bits at the moment, and now the next victim is going to be Sergio Perez. Doesn't have the DRS, he is a sitting duck, and hopefully this is going to be easy because we have the Mercedes engine at the back of this Aston Martin, and he has absolutely no chance whatsoever to defend this position. And Perez in his first race for Red Bull, quite struggling. You remember that in the real life race he had some troubles starting in the formation lap when his Red Bull got completely turned off. As we're starting the final lap of this Grand Prix, and bang, fastest lap as I was trying to catch Carlos Sainz, but unfortunately it wasn't enough. Valtteri Bottas wins the 2021 Bahrain Grand Prix, so that is kinda unusual to see. And for Casper Akkerman, Akkerman is going to be a solid 6th place, as we have some oversteer after the final corner, almost ruining the thing, plus the fastest lap after a double stack. I'll take that once again every single day of the week.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
An interesting little encounter between Akkerman and Jackson in the pit lane, and might that cause more friction behind the scenes?
Ackerman sounded pretty angry on the radio, didn't he? Told to box the next lap, but he came in anyway. That's not the decision of a man thinking clearly. Is he bringing his personal grievances onto the track? I think he could be.
They denied each other a significant number of points last season, and if today's anything to go by, those issues look like continuing. So after a magnificent race, we can now see the drivers making their way to the podium. Once again, it's the Silver Arrows who take top spot, a well-earned victory for Mercedes.
So that was an exciting race from our perspective. Let's have yours. Congratulations on a tough race today, Casper. To all of us watching, it seemed as if there was some sort of clash in pitting strategy. Can you talk us through it?
These things happen, but the risk was larger if we stayed out, because the tires were completely dead and they could risk a puncture and have a DNF. So it was a risk, but needs must, we need to take them, and it was absolutely worth it.
The team's strategy was wrong, so I called it. I had to. Sometimes when you're the one behind the wheel, you've got to call the shots. I felt the tires begin to go off and realized I needed to come in. The team may disagree, but I pulled it back, so we'll see.
So the problem we all witnessed today was a team call, and not a sign of continuing tensions again this season between you and Aiden Jackson.
This has nothing to do with our tensions back in 2020, and we need to get through it because we are professional drivers.
Well, I'm not going to lie, as I'm sure it's obvious to everyone here. Aiden and I have never really seen eye to eye, which causes some tension. But we're also professionals, so it shouldn't get in the way of our performance. I'm sure we'll work through it. Why do you ask?
Well, you seemed angry on the radio with your team. People are asking if that's an indicator of a deeper issue behind the scenes. What would you say to that?
I really didn't want to, sound angry in the team radio because it was just adrenaline. These things happen in a race. It happened in the heat of the moment, so, yeah. It happens sometimes.
Well, there's nothing to be concerned about. It's just adrenaline. You're in the middle of a race, you get hot. I can't even remember what I said. If it was, colorful, then I'm sure we'll all be laughing about it later.
Thank you for your time.
I just don't get it, Zoe. He gets to pit ahead of me, and they give his car the only new power unit last season. And he gets to go out behind me in qualifying. This kid is a new #1 driver.
I don't believe that to be true.
But then why does he get paid more?
You're still upset about that?
No. But I don't know, maybe. I just wish I never found out.
It's not the money, though, is it?
I'm old.
You're not old.
Like this again. I am old. For a driver, I'm old.
Come on, this is your last season. You said you'd make it count.
I still need to tell them.
When will you?
Soon.
Okay. Well, in the meantime, forget about Jackson.
Okay.
And stop playing the victim. It doesn't suit you.
All right, okay.
It's Zandvoort next, remember? Everyone's gonna be rooting for you. Be the guy they love. And hey.
What?
Be the guy I love.
That's cute. Did you come up with that yourself?
I'm a natural-born charmer.
Verstappen's got nothing on me.
You had to ruin it.
And we get to know that these are the final days for Casper Akkerman in the world of Formula 1. And to make things even better, look at the second title in the news, Old Man Akkerman. Are you kidding? Thankfully the next race is going to be at Zandvoort, and hopefully I can prove to those critics that they are wrong. But anyway, another cutscene, really love that, a very wholesome moment between Casper and Zoe, and now the next race is going to be his home race. But first we're taking a look at our emails, and Brian said that it was no one's fault in the strategy, and it was kinda true. I could have stayed one more lap, but the tires were completely dead. Everything happened in the heat of the moment, like I said, and you can see that how many lapses can the Dutchman afford? Are you kidding? Those critics do not know anything as we move into our home race at the Dutch Grand Prix several weeks later. I'm going to this one with high expectations in order to try to prove to those critics that they are wrong, and we need to put a good show to our home crowd. But before jumping into that, it seems that Hawaii has something to say.
Zoe.
Daddy!
Hey, Lils. What have you been doing today?
I drew a picture.
Yeah? What's it a picture of?
It's a secret.
Okay. Well, maybe you'll show it to me later.
Maybe. Will you win today, Daddy?
I hope so, Lils. Hey, can I ask you a question?
What's the question?
Who's your favorite racing driver?
You are.
Yeah, just checking. Can I speak to Mommy now?
No.
Okay.
Bye, Daddy.
Bye, Lily.
What was this call? What? Okay, it was weird. Anyway, I need to focus in this race, the Dutch Grand Prix. Like I was saying, I need to put up a good show with the family in the crowd. Casper Akkerman looks for a familiar track to turn around his fortunes.
Hello and welcome to Zandvoort for another round of Formula One action. 4 lefts and 10 rights make up the 14 corners of the narrow and demanding Zandvoort circuit, with plenty of peaks and valleys over the course of a 2.6-mile lap, which will demand absolute concentration from our drivers here today. And so here we are, Zandvoort. If there's one thing you can guarantee, it's the incredible atmosphere these Dutch fans provide. The sea of orange shirts as much a part of the Grand Prix as the track itself. Max Verstappen, always a home favourite, but in the midfield, all eyes on Aston Martin's Casper Akkerman. He'll be looking to turn around a poor patch of form, and what better time to do it than here, in front of his home crowd. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Young superstar Max Verstappen starts from pole position, and it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Norris, Leclerc, Sergio Perez, and Bottas, Sainz, Ackerman, Fernando Alonso, and Daniel Ricciardo, Gasly, Jackson, Esteban Ocon, and Tsunoda, Butler, Giovinazzi, George Russell, and Nikita Mazepin, Mick Schumacher, and Nicholas Latifi. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track and get this Grand Prix underway.
The crowd's all behind you today, Cass. Let's use that momentum and see what you can do out there.
Thanks Jeffrey, and welcome guys to the Dutch Grand Prix. Solid qualifying performance, starting in 8th place, and strategy wise it seems that it's better to start on the mediums and then sprint to the finish on the softest comparative tires. So a very interesting strategy, but hopefully we're going to make it work, as we are seeing in any time soon those 5 red lights for the Dutch Grand Prix. 25% race ahead of us, and it's lights out, and there we go. We need to finish on the podium as we get a great start, already overtaking Carlos Sainz, as Bottas in the struggle in qualifying, starting only in P6, and down inside we go of Carlos Sainz. Try to take a look, go around the outside of Valtteri Bottas as we have a little bit of oversteer, and we are already up into P7. So it's going to be quite a challenge to get up into the final step of the podium, at least as I'm trying to get a slingshot as I step a little bit on the curb and lost the Aston Martin for a second, and around the outside goes Daniel Ricciardo, and he gets through, and we are demoted 1 position. So this is not by any means the best start that we had in this career mode, in this story mode I should say, and we are demoted 1 position back to our starting position. So this is not the best thing that we need to do if we want to score a podium in our home race. So just see how aggressive the curbs are in this game, as now we are picking, trying to take a peek around the side of Daniel Ricciardo, but we can't do anything for the time being through the final couple of corners. We can say this is the final corner, because the final one is not really a proper corner. As we go through the banking, round the outside we go off the McLaren, and yeah, he's really slow out of the final corner, which is a little bit frustrating, I'm not gonna lie. But anyway, we press on as I try to take a look on the inside of Valtteri Bottas, but we can't do anything as we skip all the way forward to the beginning of lap 3 as the DRS gets enabled, and I'm still stuck behind this Mercedes as the McLarens are starting to form a little bit of a train. More Charles Leclerc that is starting to drop to the McLaren and the Red Bull, and I am still behind these guys, not anymore, at least from Valtteri Bottas, as we send one into the chicane, and the Orange Army is going absolutely wild, not just for me but as well for Max Verstappen. You can see the minimap, he leads the Dutch Grand Prix, and hopefully is going to be a walk in the park for him, as now look at the speed that we carry through the banking, and Charles Leclerc doesn't have any chance, and we are up into the top 5 paying positions as Lando Norris is trying to defend the position from Sergio Perez. The Red Bull is trying to go around the outside, which does the move, so Leclerc tried to go on the inside, he's tried again, but no chance whatsoever, and we remain in P5. So we're making good progress finally in this race. Once again, a little bit of oversteer. I need to be really careful. That banking is really easy to lose the back end, so we need to watch that, as now this should be another easy move. I have once again oversteer left, right and center, this time through the final proper corner, and Lando Norris doesn't have any chance as we're setting personal best starting lap 5, and now the next victim is going to be Sergio Perez, skipping a little bit forward to the end of lap 5, and we are still catching the Red Bull, but in any time soon we should have an overtaking chance, because look at that, setting the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. Take that, Max, because we are the true home heroes in this Aston Martin, as now we switch very aggressive to the inside, and here we go, trying to get the podium in this race. We'll see who's going to have the better traction, forcing a little bit the Mexican onto the curbs to force him, you know, to lift a little bit the throttle, but we don't need that, we just need to squeeze him a little bit, and we are up finally into the final step of the podium as we're finishing lap 7, and our pit window is going to open in this lap, I believe, and Hamilton pitted as well. Verstappen now is going to pit, and we're going to pit as well to dress a brand new set of soft tires. So great stint. What we need to do now is just to secure this position. I think Perez is going to stay out one more lap, you can see, so hopefully we're going to make, hopefully he's not going to do the overcut. It will depend on the traffic that we can potentially catch, as now we're going to deactivate the pit limiter, and Raniat's side goes. It seems that is our teammate, yes it is, and we receive a warning for crossing the white line at the exit of the pit lane, so thankfully it's just a warning, but this is not ideal, so definitely we need some team orders right now. We need to get our teammate out of the way, but it seems that he's going to resist and not give up this place that easy, as we go around the outside, side by side, once again the two Aston Martins. Hopefully it doesn't end like the Mexican Grand Prix, as he's still there, but finally it felt like an eternity to clear Akkerman, but thankfully we are through, as we are starting lap 15, and we're going to set another fastest lap of the Grand Prix. You can see that we have a healthy gap to Sergio Perez, and this is going to be a walk in the park for us. This second stint was basically control Sergio Perez's pace, and we're going to be home here. It's not going to be just Max Verstappen that wins his home race. It's going to be as well Casper Akkerman's day after finishing on the podium at Zandvoort in an Aston Martin. Two home heroes.
Alright, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
What a race for Casper Akkerman, proving the naysayers wrong with an emphatic performance. He'll be delighted by that podium finish.
Well, we all know he can do it. It's just been a while since he has. Great race from Akkerman and some much needed points for Aston Martin.
Here come today's winners. The team at Red Bull have done a phenomenal job recently. It's clear to see that they've put in the work, and they should be proud of the victory they secured here.
The fans really seem to enjoy that. You made it look easy. A podium finish today, Casper, here in front of your home crowd. How does it feel?
It feels really good to score a podium in a home race. You know, it's a different feeling, and I'm very pleased that I managed to get this result. And it shows that I'm still proving myself and remaining competitive in this grid, so to all who may concern, suck it.
Yeah, even after a career as long as mine, I still want to continue to prove myself and remain competitive out there. A podium finish is an accomplishment for any driver. But it's all the sweeter when you can do it at home, so I'm very pleased.
And the fastest lap too today. Is that something you expected?
I wasn't expecting to take the fastest lap of the Grand Prix because we are not the fastest car by any means, but I'll take that every single day of the week because every point counts.
It's realistically not something you think you're going to get too often, so no, I can't say we expected it. But it's certainly a welcome surprise. Every point counts, so come the end of the season we might be more grateful for it than we realize.
How is everything at Aston Martin? Are spirits high? Is the team happy?
The team has still some scars obviously from 2020, so things are not 100% right, but it's normal. But we're working really hard in order to turn things around.
I won't lie and say we're having a great time. Everyone knows we've struggled a little bit recently and things aren't 100% right now. But that's just the way it goes sometimes. Look, any job has its issues, and driving in F1 is no exception. But the focus is very much on turning things around.
Great. Well, that's everything.
Hey, man. Great race today.
Thanks.
Nice one, Casper. Can't argue with that performance. Shame your teammate couldn't bring himself to congratulate you.
Nah, well, he's just a kid.
A kid who's getting signed by Mercedes.
So they say.
Never gonna happen.
Oh?
You keep a secret?
Yeah, sure.
I've been approached.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Keep it under your hat, but talks are going well. So you're gonna have to get on with Jackson for a little while longer.
Yeah, well, we get on fine.
That's not what I heard.
Yeah?
I was chatting with one of your mechanics. He had some very interesting things to say about Jackson. You know what his problem is, don't you?
Go on.
Thinks you're getting too old. Says you're not fast enough anymore.
Too old?
Hey, mate, his words, not mine. You want my advice? Prove him wrong. See, he should respect you like I do. Great race out there today, buddy. Yeah? Ciao.
And Devon Butler, you know, being Devon Butler, trying to create a war between these two teammates. I don't know, but I have the feeling that he has something up his sleeve. But great performance, a great way to finish the episode.
Hey.
Hey, Lily's dancing in the garage. It's hilarious. Can you come?
Just catching up on a few things.
Sure. Hey, I booked us a restaurant for tonight.
What about Lily?
Your mother's happy to take care of her.
Great, then I can't wait.
Reason to celebrate, right?
Yeah. Thanks, Zoe. See you later.
Bye.
And like I was saying, it was a great way to finish this episode, and hopefully we're going to continue these performances over the course of our final season in Formula 1. Another call, this time from our teammates. Interesting.
Yeah?
Casper, I missed you just now.
What do you want?
I just wanted to say congratulations for today. That was some race.
I'm busy, Aiden.
Oh, sure.
Bye.
And it seems that there's a lot of tension between these two. Casper being cold as ice. But guys, that has been the third episode of the Breaking Point story mode. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to smash the like button, and if you're new, make sure to subscribe. It really motivates me to make more. Make sure to share this video as well. A lot of F1 2021 videos are coming to the channel from now on because my exams are over. So I'll see you guys for a brand new video next time for episode 4. But for now, take care.